I witnessed a marriage proposal and breakup in the same meal while working as a waitress. The ring was still on the table when the truth about his pregnant girlfriend came out. The Valentine's Day dinner rush at Bella Knott was always chaotic, but this particular night would stay with me forever. Table 16 was a young couple paired him in a crisp blue suit that still had the price tag partially visible under the collar. Rookie mistake. They were holding hands across the table when I approached. Welcome to Bella Knott, I greeted them. My name is Tedist, and I'll be taking care of you tonight. The man parent James, I later learned parent shamed, nervous, checking his pocket every few minutes and barely touching his appetizer. The woman pant Alizi parrot was radiant, laughing easily and taking photos of their food for the memories. I'd seen enough Valentine's dates to recognize the signs he was going to propose. Sure enough, when I cleared their entrebent plates, James whispered, "Can you bring the champagne when I signal? And maybe take a few photos?" I nodded conspiratorially. These moments were why I hadn't quit. Despite the low pay and aching feet, parent being part of someone's forever story felt special. The champagne was chilling, the dessert, or the ring would be presented, was being prepared, and I was positioned nearby with my phone camera ready. That's when James's own phone lit up on the table. Alisa glanced down automatically and her smile faltered. I couldn't see the screen, but whatever notification appeared changed everything in an instant. "Who's Melissa?" she asked, her voice suddenly small. James snatched his phone, but too late. Just a coworker who texts you, doctor confirmed. It's a girl with heart emojis. Alizi's voice was rising slightly, though she was clearly trying to maintain composure in the public setting. I retreated a few steps, pretending to adjust settings at my service station, while watching the romantic evening derail in slow motion. "I can explain, James," said Pernt. "Possibly the worst 3 words in relationship history." "Please do," Alice replied, setting down her napkin with deliberate calmness. What followed was a stumbling confession that left me and the nearby tables in shocked silence. James had been seeing someone else, pant Melissa paid for nearly a year. The relationship had been mostly physical, his actual words. But then Melissa got pregnant. James had been trying to figure things out before making any decisions. So tonight was what, exactly? Alice asked, her voice now eerily steady. James reached into his pocket and placed a small velvet box on the table. "I made my decision. I choose you. I was going to propose tonight." The restaurant around us had grown quieter as nearby diners became aware of the unfolding drama. My manager caught my eye from across the room, silently asking if intervention was needed. I gave a small head shake. "Parent, this needed to play out. Let me understand this," Alice said, still with that unnatural calmness. "You got another woman pregnant and your solution was to propose to me? Were you planning to mention the baby at some point after you said yes?" he admitted. "I thought if you were already committed." Alyssa stood up, smoothing her dress. "I spent 6 hours getting ready today. I bought this dress because red is your favorite color. I told my parents to expect a call from us tonight." Her composure finally cracked. "I've already chosen names for our future children." The tears came then, but they weren't the joyful ones I'd expected to photograph. I stepped forward with extra napkins, which she accepted with a grateful nod. "I'll be right back," she whispered, heading toward the restroom. James sat alone, the untouched ring box still on the table beside his buzzing phone. I approached cautiously. "Is there anything I can do?" "Cancel the champagne," he muttered, "and the dessert." When Elsa returned, her makeup was refreshed, but her eyes were red-rimmed. Instead of sitting down, she placed her house key on the table. "I need some time to get my things from your apartment. I'll text when I am done so you can go home." Her voice was steady again. "Don't worry about driving me, Parrot. I've already called my sister." James reached for her hand. "Liz, please, we can work through this." She pulled away. "The problem isn't that you made a mistake, James. The problem is that I wasn't even worth the truth." She turned to me. "I'm sorry about the disruption." "Don't apologize," I said, surprising myself with my boldness. "Let me call you a rideshare if your sister's not here yet." While James sat stunned, I escorted Les to our front entrance. As we waited, she suddenly laughed, burnt a hollow sound. "I was so sure he was going to propose tonight. I even got a manicure for the ring photos." Her sister arrived minutes later, enveloping her in a protective hug before shooting a glare through the restaurant windows. I returned to find James still sitting there, now nursing a scotch he'd ordered from the bar. The ring box was gone, back in his pocket. "Check, please," he said, not meeting my eyes. He paid without comment, leaving a generous tip that felt like penance. As he stood to leave, his phone buzzed again. This time he answered. "Hey Mel," he said, walking toward the exit. "Pat, I am on my way." The untouched champagne went back to storage. The special dessert was shared among the kitchen staff and table 16 was reset for the next reservation. But the emotional residue lingered. 3 months later, Alessia returned to the restaurant with friends for a birthday celebration.